What's good, Texas Tech Red Raiders? Welcome in to Seeing Scarlet, where we talk all things Texas Tech sports, don't we, Shelby?
We do.
We do. That's us. I'm Sibby, and of course, joined every time by Shelby here. And today we are talking about Texas Tech soccer. We got recap for their 2 games that they have now under their belt, and we'll talk a little bit about the 2 games that they got coming up this week. And it is full on soccer season. Shelby and I were talking about this before of like, wait, we weren't ready. we have no choice. But yeah, there's lots to talk about with the Texas Tech Red Raiders. They went to Penn State, number 4 Penn State, and lost 4-0. I know that can be a startling number. We're going to unpack it together and process it together. And then Texas Tech kind of flipped the script. They hosted CSUN in Lubbock, where they won 4-0 against the other Matadors. That was another thing to learn, that CSUN is the Matadors. We know who the true Matadors are, and that's Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Showed them.
We did. And so, yeah, that's what we got lined up for y'all. We're going to quickly talk about Penn State. Again, it was a tough one, a 4-0 loss when we had a lot of energy coming into that match. That was us also a sidebar thing of Shelby and I did a live watch party. So if y'all got to watch that, great. If you didn't, you should subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn on your little notifications, and the next time that we do that off the rails shit, you'll be the first to know. But I had a lot of fun with that watch party, Shelby, so I am hoping we get to do it again. But that's what we got. Those are a little bit of some updates. Let's hop into the Penn State game. We're going to hit it off with this clip, I believe, from Tom Stone from his the press conference to give a little bit of background about it, and then we'll dive into a little bit more of the specifics.
20 minutes belonged to Penn State. Once we settled in, we created a few chances of our own, missed a penalty in the second half, and played way better. But the damage was done, and for our young team, with all the players we were missing especially, just think it was a tough ask. Even though they played their hearts out, I'm super proud of the way their second half was, the attitude and the effort. I think we played almost every player, and they went as hard as they could the whole game. So there's still a lot to take from it. Obviously, we're disappointed having lost a regular season game in over a year. So this one hurts a bit, but it's also game 1 against a really good team that played really well in their opener. You can't feel sorry for yourself at this point. It's too early in the season. We got too many more games to play, too many more good teams on our schedule. And so we have no choice. We'll get back Friday, get ready for CSUN on Sunday, and get back after it. It's the way college soccer is. It's fast and furious, and we will bounce back. This team is not happy right now, and I love that about them. They're pretty stubborn and resolute, and they'll be ready for Sunday.
I like that about them. They're upset.
I love that. I love that quote. When I heard him say that, that's why I clipped it. I was like, I'm posting this because I love that. That goes back to that part of like, I just kind of trust Texas Tech soccer, and that's why is they just have that kind of reputation to them, and they're going to have to figure it out. But I think for me, like Penn State, I think we said it on the watch party that we talked about. Thanks for those that joined, like you said. But I wasn't going to make more of it than it was, but I also wasn't going to make less of it than it was. There was some not good stuff in that game that they're going to learn from. But they did grow up a little bit in that second half. But I'm just not going to make more of it and like freak out over one game, given what we know that they were up against. And we talked about it on the watch party, but of course, if someone missed that and you have missed the news, Sam Courtwright's out for the season. I don't know when the team learned about that, but the public learned about that the day of the game, right? Yeah. So I assume they maybe knew at least the day before. I have no idea when it happened. They just said in training that week. So that's a tough blow for sure. And then they were still missing. He mentioned in that clip missing some people, and so they were missing her. She's obviously not coming back, but they were missing Macy Blackburn, all Big 12 defender, and then Kylie Barr, who was a preseason all Big 12 defender this year, were both out for that game on the road against a top 5 team. So I think that was like just playing in my head the whole time we were watching it. It's like, okay, we're going to get better. We're going to get better. There's good things on this left side. We said that 9 million times. We just got to figure out the other side as that experience grows. And that was kind of my biggest takeaway from Penn State. There was just like a lack of, I think I said at halftime they were just a little bit lackadaisical. I don't know if that's the proper terminology that the team would use, but there just was a lack of aggression at times that you're just not used to seeing when you watch Texas Tech soccer. So that was a little startling. But that was all back on Sunday, which we'll talk about. So That was good. And then again in the second half, which I'm sure you're going to talk about in Penn State, was much better. And it was cleaner.
Yeah.
Obviously, Penn State wasn't playing all their starters, but even the first 20 where they were, I thought we played them a little bit better. So, yeah, it is what it is. I'm not going to make more of either of these games, even the Sunday game. I'm not making more of that than it was either. It kind of was what it was, but not making less of it. That's kind of where I'm at with these games, but some specific notes.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great way to describe it. Penn State scoring all 4 of their goals in that first half, so to go unscored upon in the second half almost felt like a victory in itself, but played totally differently. Nice to see that quick transition too, and not just be like beaten down and come out of that halftime and just kind of say, you know what, we lost to number 4 Penn State. They came out with some things to look forward to. Like, I think we both noticed too in watching that game, a lot of players that had notable appearances and liked what we saw. And I'm with you in the way too of, I don't want to put too much weight onto this because of how much momentum that we've had from last season. And we've talked about it a lot, but yeah, to have that news break about Sam Courtright was just heartbreaking, and that's already adversity that this team is going to have to overcome. They already have the challenges in some ways, so I'm so curious to have known what the game plan maybe was before Penn State, and then how much that has changed. And I think that's what we're seeing now, especially with this CSUN game. And Tom talked about it in that presser against Penn State, of seeing all different players in the lineups in our roster they're playing. So I love seeing the depth of our roster continue to grow. And yeah, we got a lot of growing left to do. And like Tom said too, it's early in the season. It was quite a blockbuster to start the season. Penn State being such a premier program. And we knew it was going to be tough. Just didn't know how tough it was going to be. But that's what we got. And I loved what we saw from Peyton Parsons, Millie Elwood, Jill, all Giametta, Hazy, a lot of different players showing up. Alana Harry, a freshman, she also had a great performance. So a lot of great things to pull from that Penn State game. That's how I think I always roll. It's like, I'm just going to not
find the good. You got to find the good.
Never mind that score there. What did we learn? And so, I think that's the biggest thing to pull away is we didn't just shut it down at halftime. We came back, leaving them without a score in that second half. And some of the players that stepped up big time, it was cool to see some of that, and good to see them play, right? Like, we didn't get to see that from the exhibition match against Denver. So just nice to see them play. And
For sure. I love Peyton Parsons, people just kept whispering to us like she's going to have a good year. And, Macy said she was excited to see Peyton play when we talked to her. Sam said she was excited to play off Peyton. Obviously, they'll have to delay that for a year. Yeah. But everyone was talking about her like she was going to do some big things. And I think she got her first career goal last year, and that with that PK in the postseason, and so she's getting more regular playing time. She is kind of her right now on this team. I think she's played maybe the most minutes of anybody besides Cassie Taylor and like our goalkeeper on the season. She might have played almost that entire game, even Sunday when we get into that, and most of Penn State, and she's creating some things. And I'm not going to pretend like I know exactly how these numbers come to be, but when you look at the metrics after the game that were put out, I'm calling her the most dangerous player on the pitch is what I'm giving her credit for, because she had the highest expected goal number of anybody on the field, us or Penn State. I know people are gonna be like, yeah, she had a PK chance. Well, Penn State had a PK chances. They finished
converted
there.
one.
And they made goals as well. So she had a .84 expected goal number, and that was the highest of anybody in the game.
That's
what's up. The next highest was, but probably McBean
makes sense
for Penn State, which would make sense. I don't know what her expected assist was, but she wasn't the leader in that. The Jordan Fusco, who was great, by the way, she's a big time transfer for Penn State. I really loved what we saw from her for Penn State. Good for them. But she was the assist leader there. But yeah, Peyton showed some things in that Penn State. She tried. I mean, she was trying.
Oh my gosh, that
she
hustle.
Was working. Elise Anderson. I feel like we just never mentioned her, but we always
we appreciate her so
yes,
much.
it's just like, oh, Elise is gonna make a great play here. Elise is gonna make a great play here. It's like all the time. Her and Peyton looked really good together. Really good. And then we were just trying to figure out the other side, and I think Tom kind of talks about that in his post-game presser. In CSUN, you can go watch the whole thing. We're not going to show this part of it, so we can mention it, but someone asked him, like, hey, why did Alana get to start in CSUN? And you kind of saw it in this Penn State game. Like, she started flashing some things, and they're trying to find that partner on the other side, and Alana came in, and she was able to maybe, like, keep the pace with Ashley, because they're both kind of fast players. I'm not sure what the idea is there, but she was flashing and changing some things in that game as well. And then I was a big fan of Millie Elwood. If y'all watched the live show, she showed me a little something in that second half.
Yeah.
And she was a little more low key in the CSUN game, but she had some moments too. But she showed a little fire in that Penn State game. So there was definitely things, like you said, to pick out and pull from, and the coaches will handle the coaching and get them better, and they did, as you saw for Sunday. But yeah, Peyton is doing some things. I'm really happy for her. Like, she's kind of taken over that that Sam role. Like, people are like, who's going to replace Sam? Right now, we're working through Peyton.
Peyton Parsons is saying, "Let me try."
Her service has been insane.
Yeah.
Like, it was good last year too when she did it a few times, but she wasn't always in the game and had the opportunity. But she's on point. She's like Macy freaking level on point. I was like, all right, let's go.
She's feeding. It's good to see. I love to see the energy and the hype. But when we talk about, if you're just watching the game of soccer of a player who's creating those opportunities and hustling to do whatever she can for her team, I think Peyton had a Peyton Parsons. There's 3 Peytons on this team. Peyton Parsons. I mean, all of them. Yeah. We can talk about all of them.
We gotta start saying last names because there's 3 of them that play regularly.
But yeah, that hustle, it was needed, I think, in that game. So it was nice to see her to perform that way and to continue on again with CSUN, which we got some things to talk about. So
yeah, I think that kind of wraps up Penn State. It was what it was. They're going to use it as motivation, as you'll maybe hear in a clip that we're going to play here in a second, and grow from it. And that's all you can do at that point. So I thought we learned some things on the good and the need to get better side. And that's what you want from an opening game. Because in a way, I'm glad it happened. You know, I'm glad, just like last year, that New Mexico game where they got that draw, that you use that as motivation all year. Maybe this can be something that can propel them, and Tom kind of speaks about that in his post-game presser a little bit. Yeah,
and also to show that, you know, we can hang with the best of them. It's cleaning up some things and seeing what works, and I think we saw a lot of that. Even shorthanded,
allow a goal in the second half. So you got to find things to cling to, and we did not play Texas Tech soccer really at all. Yeah, and maybe moments in the second half, but we didn't play Texas Tech soccer, and they know that, and they still kind of found a way to bounce back, and that's why I trust Texas Tech soccer. That's right. And Texas Tech soccer, we trust. They'll figure it out.
Just like we do with Elise Anderson. Just never talk about her, but no, we're thinking about you, Elise. But yeah, that's Penn State. Again, loss 4-0, but that flips the script totally when we talk about CSUN. But anything else from you, Shelby, about Penn State?
No, that was it.
It is what it is.
It's not going to make more of it than it was, not going to make less of it than it was. Learn from it. Let's move on. And I'm still the same as I said on that recap show. I'm excited to be able to look back about that Penn State game and see what we learned about it.
That's right. That's where it started.
I know some people maybe whatever, like they just want to see your team win every game, and sports are fun because of the journey, and this year's team is going to be a journey, and that was a big one to start. They can learn from that. So we have a clip from Tom.
Yeah.
From CSUN. He talks a little bit about this game and what they got from it. And then we can let Sibby break it down a little bit. But this is him after the game on Sunday.
Well, I think going into the game, we probably figured we would have the upper hand. We've been doing this a while. Gina just took that program over. She's going to do a great job. They're already believing. They're organized. They're in the right places. But we thought we might have, we'd be on the front foot. So we just implored our team, like, look, the intensity, the focus, the ability to hold on to the ball under pressure, the heading, the tackling, the scrapping, like all the intangibles, the little things, we didn't do any of them in the last game. And they took advantage of us because of that. Being a little bit shorthanded with certain key players out, you can't step off the gas. A team like Penn State's going to roll you. And we're like, that's just going to keep happening if we don't get after it here. We got to claim our start of the season. We got to get a victory. We got to be back to 500 and then start getting well ahead of it. So I think we're trying to remind them all of the small details, the intangibles that make a team really good. Now, we weren't great tonight, but we were certainly good enough to win 4-0.
That's true.
So
they won 4-0.
I love Tom Stone. Tells me like it is.
Love Tom Stone. It's always nice to hear his pressers because it's very spot on, very, very true. But yes, played a lot better. Yes, played against a team that they felt like they were going to be in front of anyway. And it was such a hot day, y'all.
Oh my God,
like
I not
watched our players melting. They were like,
and it was at night too. I was like, what? I pulled up the weather. I was like, why are they like dying out there? And then I was like, oh my God, it's 100 degrees at 7 p.m.
Get that sun out of there. So I felt for them so much seeing them play in some tough Lubbock, Texas elements. But yes, a total domination. Texas Tech had 31 shots to their 3. CSUN had 12 saves. Just shows how much that we were keeping up that intensity like Tom Stone talked about. And that led to, we got 4 goals to talk about. Alana Harry with her first goal as a Texas Tech Red Raider. That was really hyped to see really early in the match, assisted by Jill Martinez. And then we had a goal from Peyton Parsons, assisted by Caitlin Giametta. And then our girl Z, Taylor Sherjeski, with a brace. She scored twice, and her story is so good, y'all.
So good.
She in her freshman year was off to a in fuego start and had a season-ending injury.
She had, I'm just going to jump
Get
in there.
the
She
stat.
had 8 shots. I don't know. This
It's
is
like
off
4
the dome,
games.
but she had 8 shots and 4 on goal in just a couple, 3 games.
It was
maybe
like 3 or 4
3.5
games. Yeah.
And we're just like, who the hell is this? I mean, we knew who she was because she was a big recruit.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously you can continue the story if she gets hurt.
Yeah.
But it's good to see her back.
It's so good to see her back. She played a little bit last season. You could see too of coming back from, okay, I got to
Had
play
the
in a
brace
different
and
body
all
now. And so to see her score the first time, dude, I mean, I think we were both texting each other, but we were like crying on the inside. This is so good. Welcome back, Z. And then for her to do it twice, it was cool to see that. It was cool to see our teammates just hype for her, because to come back from an injury, we know this story so well, and to see that success, I'm sure it was a huge celebration for her. I hope it was. To get back in that scoring lane.
How happy her teammates were for her. And
they're like, yeah.
That was one of my favorite parts of the game. We obviously love the stories, and people should give her. It wasn't just a goal, It might have been just a goal to her. Maybe she doesn't inflate it more than that, but we're gonna inflate it more than that for her, because that's really cool. And some other players on the team that are injured right now can look at that. So young players, not just Sam. We haven't mentioned a bit. Lauren Woodruff, who's a key player on this team, is out as well.
Yep.
With an ACL that she announced a few weeks ago. There's some players that can look at her and be like, hey, she's back, because she was a former big time player, and she played, like you said, a little bit last year, but she was not herself.
Right.
She doesn't have that brace on.
I know. She
got
free.
up there on her first goal, some hops. I mean, that was not going to make more of it than it was because the opponent and all those things, but that was against anybody in traffic. Got up there and put that header right on target and got it in there, and that's could be something that we could be like, okay, that's good to know that we have that in the bag. Her coming off, because she was really good in Penn State as well. Like she had some moments, she had some good moments where she could have scored or assisted in the Penn State game too. So she's had a couple of good games. So shout out Z.
I know, so stoked.
So proud of her. Excited for her.
So stoked.
And
yeah.
you can tell the team was really happy for her. Like Elise dang near tackled her when she scored.
Yeah, because Elise has seen the whole journey. She's like,
Elise has been
damn, I know.
Grandma Elise,
Hey, we're the Scene Scarlet grandmas.
Yeah.
You'll get there one day, Elise, but you're still playing, so we'll let you off the hook there. But yeah, I huge for her. I'm sure huge for confidence all around too. In that way, it was really hyped to see Faith having another clean sheet. There was a part in
confidence.
I think coming into the second half, and the camera had just a still shot of her before the match started, or the second half started, and you see her taking some time to breathe, which I was like, oh, Shelby's gonna love this. She Faith's having a full meditation right now as a goalkeeper for this team, and she knows that she's gonna have to keep working, and I have loved seeing how she has rebounded from that Penn State game in this game. It's nice to see a little bit of like hints of her personality and how she gets ready for a performance like that. But yeah, a clean sheet, was not scored on. And Faith is continuing to show that athleticism that we talked about before the season started.
I like her little pregame. I don't know if you're at the games, watch it, but they even showed it on the screen if you can see it widescreen.
Yeah,
she's got some hops, and so she gets up there and hangs on the top of the stanchion for her little pregame routine. She did it at Penn State.
Big.
Someone got a good picture of her doing it for the pregame in that green kit that you don't like, but I love it. And she had 3 saves, I believe, in this game. So she had 4 saves against Penn State as well. Like, that Penn State score could have been worse than it was. She had some big time saves in that to keep it what it was. And so she's already up to 7 saves on the season, which is good for her. And we still got things to figure out. A thing for us on defense, but that's early in the season. We get it. So I think I learned in this game. Faith has that about her. She has that goalkeeper mentality. She didn't let Penn State get in her head at all. She came out there and was as confident as ever, if not more confident. And that was good to see. So love that from Faith. Shout out her. Yeah,
that was huge. So yeah, they had some great highlights that I think we'll show here in just a second. But another component of this too that Tom talks about is like the crowd being there too, and we were really excited to hear that. It was cool to see too on TV. It looks like they got the replay screen back there, so if y'all were there to endure the heat.
Heard Sam. Good job, Sam, for calling for it.
Okay, good. Yeah. It was cool to see.
Call him out on the interview.
I love it. Hey, improving the experience. Got to see Sam Courtwright at the game. She was even jerseyed up. I was like, don't you play, girl.
She was doing the pregame handshakes with the players at the front of the line. I don't know if you noticed that. She was the one that when they were running out, she was the one at the end of the line doing hype up.
That's what's Sam. Up. That's Sam.
She's got a good attitude about it. I'm sure it's tough for her. Like, I'm not going to underplay it.
I know.
It's good to see her smiling through it and fighting through it. So
getting involved in some capacity. So yeah, the crowd was there. Really cool to see that as our home opener, and a 4-0 win. And I don't know,
lose 4-0 then win 4-0.
I know it's a trade.
Definition of bounce back right there.
It's a little bit of a trade off. But yeah, let's get into some of these highlights and see what we got coming up for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. But
we'll just play them once full through and then let Sibby talk about them.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to John Walker Soccer Complex on the campus of Texas Tech University. Out of the Big West, it's CSUN, the Matadors, and the Texas Tech Red Raiders. I'm Jeff Haxton, muscled around. Martinez launches.
Yes.
Great save. Follow. Goal, Red Raiders.
There's your Alana Harry first career goal.
There to smash it in. Alana Harry for her first goal as a Red Raider. It's the first goal for Texas Tech this year. Might have another. Ashley Williams.
Oh my gosh, that was
once,
nuts.
No, twice. No, great job by CSUN.
That rebound, dude.
Canister, good job.
What a pass, Buck.
Giametta with a cross on the ground.
We're gonna come back to this play.
Peyton Parsons.
I mean,
I have a nitpick on this one.
Giametta kept it on the ground, and that was the perfect idea. Founded back in 1958. Launched nicely.
Quick.
Nice diving stop there by Wynn. Playboard. Led CSUN in minutes last year with 1,600. That's a good ball. Wynn skies to bring it in.
I don't know what she's saying.
And a yellow card.
She's talking something.
A bit higher, that thing's got some knuckle to it. Becomes very difficult to handle.
That one was so
Ashley
close.
Williams couldn't quite get to it. It's loose, but
Ashley,
comes back
a little bit
together.
of a hard touch
almost.
there. Look at
Parsons
that ball from Peyton.
lifts
Dude.
it towards the 6. Header.
Peyton
Punched
could have had
away.
like 3-4 assists easy in that game.
Better than
There's
the alternative.
First career goal.
That's a goal, Red Raiders. Strzezinski.
Oh my gosh.
Elwood with the ball out
It's a
front.
nice little pass from Millie.
Wants to cross. Instead leaves it back.
Zeke, boom.
On the rebound.
This is where
Strzezinski. Round
Elise
2.
Millie tackles her.
Looking to hit it right at Wynn, and she steadies and
Gobbled it up.
makes a secure catch. Some good work here. It's still alive. Nice cut by
That was a
Sexton.
good cut.
She's into the 18
Story
with a left
had
foot.
some good moments in both
She did.
games.
She did.
Her and Alana.
Only a
will be
matter of
trading.
time.
Yeah, her and Alana will be trading off in that spot. I think. Like I like what both of them have done. So no complaints really. And
Yeah.
they're both young players that are only going to get better and bring a little something different, each of them. Logan Russo, by the way.
I love Logan Russo,
I don't
too.
know. I'm sure there's like other things that she has the boxes to check to get up the depth chart or whatever, but her quickness is elite. I'm talking elite. There was a clip, I
Dude.
should have clipped it. I was too busy live tweeting for you guys. But where she like straight juked this girl at her shoes twice, I think, on one play. Actually, someone did lose a shoe in this game for CSUN, and it made, now that I'm thinking about it, it may have might have been Logan Russo's fault. Because, and I'm not even kidding, someone literally lost their shoe in the middle of the game. I don't know how it happened, but they were talking about it. But there was this play in the middle of the field where Logan just, between like three people,
Eats her up.
easy money, gets out of there and just keeps on going. And when we talked to Sam in our interview, she talked about Logan
How
and said they
quick.
had their cone drill, and she's like, "Yeah, I usually win that thing, but Logan beat me and beat me by a good bit." And I was like,
Dude.
"Oh man, she must be fast," and she is. Like, I mean, I'm talking elite quickness. There's other things she's gonna get better on. I'm sure that's not for me. I have no idea what those are, but anytime she's out there, she in the Penn State game, her quickness is clear. Like both teams, she might be the quickest player on the field, no matter who we play most games. Like her quickness is fun, and she's only a freshman.
It is a
so.
fun weapon to have that kind of speed. And when Sam talked about it, I was like, no way. And then when we saw it, I was like, okay. It's
Yeah, I
very,
was like,
very
you can
apparent
see it.
how,
Yeah, it's
how
clear.
quick she is. But yeah, this first goal, you see this absolute rocket from none other than Jill Martinez, and that rebound. You see Alana Harry, just a shark in the water, waiting for it to happen. So to capitalize
In the right
on
place,
that
the right
bounce
time.
back. I mean, but she's making sure that if it's bouncing off, I'm sorry, you got to put two hands on that and contain it. But yeah, stoked to see that from Alana. And then was it the second goal that you had a question, a curiosity about here, Shelby?
Well, here we'll show this part. Which, first of all,
Is that was that Elise?
this is the almost goal from Ashley. Give her, I mean,
Oh, my
great save. By the way,
goodness.
this keeper from CSUN, I was impressed.
I know,
We had her
agree.
under fire, and she made a number of spectacular saves, including that one. And then this was a great rebound reload from Ashley. Like, that's not easy to do, and she got it on target. Like, I know Ashley hasn't gotten
Twice.
a goal yet, but she had a couple of good shots against Penn State. I think she was our second leading expected goal scorer against Penn State. She might have been the leader in this one. They didn't put out metrics for it. But, I mean, she had two right there. I think more expected goals back to back.
Yeah. Especially that second one.
Like, right here,
to
like,
have that
great
timing.
job by that defender.
Good
But that
timing.
keeper got her hand on that one too. But here, I have to pull this clip in. I was downloading it while we were talking because they don't show the replay of the second goal. So I got a bug to pick with somebody, and this could be I'm missing a nuance of soccer issue here. But I think that our little freshman Alana Harry got gypped an assist. So if anyone's listening that has control over that, we fought the fight for Jordan Merritt last year and got her a steal added to her record after a game because we noticed it in a clip. In soccer, my understanding is you get an assist if you make the pass that leads to the goal as well. And you'll see they don't show it in this highlight package, but the full highlight does. Here, I'll bring it up right now.
I love that you went and scurried and found this clip so quickly.
With a cross on the ground. Goal, Red Raiders, Peyton Parsons.
We're going to show the replay.
Oh my gosh, it's so hype.
Perfect idea.
But watch it. It's real quick.
Peyton Parsons.
That's an
Alana,
assist. Does it take too long
We'll
to
get
get
this
there? Like,
threaded dime.
I don't know
Right
what
by
I'm
the
missing.
keeper. 2-0 Red Raiders.
But that was
Watch
a
it.
beautiful ball from Alana to Bug. To
It
Caitlin
was
Giametta,
a
nicknamed
gorgeous
Bug.
ball to Bug.
Why did she not get
Yeah.
an assist? There's not an assist in the box score
Well,
for Alana. So if anyone's listening,
The Seeing
jump
Scarlet
top to the
stats
scorekeeper,
said.
would like to get a stat correction for our freshman. She deserves an assist. Those are hard to come by.
Those
Give her
matter.
her assist.
Yeah.
She's gonna. I feel like she's gonna have stats in her career at Texas Tech, and I want it to start.
I want
off real. I
everyone.
want it to start now for
want
Alana. So
everyone.
justice for Alana, and if you could just do that for me, if anyone from Texas Tech is listening. That's
Yeah.
my plea. And then if I'm wrong, please tell me why I'm wrong, because I'm sure there's some nuance that maybe I'm missing.
I hear
Carry
you.
on.
Yeah, we'll get that down. But the Seeing
Thank you,
Scarlet
thank you.
stat.
I just needed to get that off my chest.
But
It's
but
heavy
thank you
on my heart.
for picking this up, because that is a beautiful touch from Alana Harry, a freshman that has that type of level of sight to get the ball to Giametta, who made that hustle play, to put it right perfectly for Peyton Parsons to finish it off. I think that was such a pristine soccer play. And so when Tom talks about like the intricacies and the specifics of the game and how we were able to fire off on those against CSUN, this was a perfect example of that. God, that outside just Taparooski, bam. I don't think anybody else touched that ball except Red Raiders in that sequence. So huge.
That's a good point. Yeah, it was one touch. Well, I don't know how many touches Alana had before that, but one little flick over to Bug. She let it run because she had the space and hit it in. That was the thing from CSUN. I don't know if you want to watch these highlights again or not, but I can pull them back up if you do.
All good. Yeah.
But is we had this space. Like, let's not kid ourselves. We were the better team. That was the difference between CSUN and Penn State. That's why I'm not going to make more of it than it was.
Yeah.
Because we just had the space to work in CSUN. But you could see the talent, and we knew what to do with the space. You know what I mean? Not every team knows what to do with the space. There were times where CSUN had a bit of space, and we were able to close down on it and take it back before they did anything with it. When we had this space, Peyton Parsons is out there doing spin moves. We've got a highlight of it we can show you.
Goodness.
Alana's making just easy passes. Bug. I mean, that was, I don't know how many career assists Giametta has. That might have been her first one. I didn't know she had that in her bag. She's a goal scorer. And she's out there looking like, I mean, that was great.
Multiple
that
threat.
was Macy's stuff from last year. That was Texas Tech soccer that I'm used to, is all these run of play goals. We didn't have a run of play goal this year, even going back to the exhibition. That goal was off a free kick, so it was good to see us getting back to our ways, and we knew what to do with the space in this game, and that was good to see. Obviously, we're gonna have to do better the next time.
Fine tune it, yeah.
When
Continue.
there's people on top of us the next time that comes, but you could see the talent in this game because we were creating good space, and then we were doing what you're supposed to when you got it. So it could have, if we weren't a good team, it would have been a 2-0 game or a 1-0 game, like we would have won because we're just better program. But they let their talent shine, and that was cool. So I have one more highlight I forgot. Speaking of letting talent shine, Peyton Parsons becoming a fan.
A menace.
Peyton. She showed her a little spin move on this play. We just gotta let the people see it. I saw it and I was like, I'm clipping this. I don't care. I don't care, ESPN. I'm stealing this from you. I'm posting it.
Stop self-incriminating. But yes.
What, you think that is came out of thin air? But watch Peyton Parsons talk about, I know what to do with open space.
Ooh.
She's coming up on 2 defenders in her area, and she says, I'm just going to spin off of her. And this would have been so cool if this girl didn't just grab her. The girl's like, not today. I'm not ending up on Sports Center, ma'am. No.
I will not allow this.
But she spins like on the ball, turns, and was ready to take off. And could have scored off of this because they were setting up well.
Recharge the batteries. Spin, the beauty by Parsons. Everybody likes a spin move, and here's one for
we do.
Parsons. You see the little arm extend, knee extend.
And the girl's like, I didn't touch her. I don't know what she's talking about.
And you know what? At that first sign of contact, I don't think Peyton was going to stay on her feet and blow through. Like, that defender really had to play some force down to get Peyton to simmer down. But that spin move, baby.
Nasty. Nasty work. Like, all right. It's good to know we got some flair out there. Like, we got someone with that in their bag. I'm going to see some more of that.
Yeah, I think that's what's a really cool piece about, like, every team is different, every season is different, and it's really fun to see what players are going to surprise us. Like Giametta, I didn't know you had that in your bag. You're out there assisting. You usually are launching them. And to see that from Peyton Parsons, it's all just like, this is so good. So yes, tough loss against Penn State. We're learning, growing. That's all part of it. And then a dominating performance for CSUN. That's going to help us into our next couple of games that we're going to talk about right now, unless you have anything to add about CSUN.
No, that's great job, y'all. Good bounce back. Love it. get to go show the thing in these next 2 games. Go listen to that whole presser. It's on YouTube from the Texas Tech Athletics page. You can hear from Tom Stone and you can hear from the players. But what he says, if I remember right, and that just what we were trying to say is that they're not going to let someone ask them how are they going to stay grounded after a 4-0 win? And he basically says, that Penn State game wasn't very long ago. It was a bruise. We're going to remember it for the whole year. And they asked if they're going to use it for motivation, and he's like, it's not so much motivation, just like it's a good reminder of like if you start thinking you're too good, remember what happened on Thursday at Penn State to open the year, and that is a good reminder.
Too good.
And hopefully they do lean on that. And he talks about they bring up the freshmen, and they were like, the freshmen look good, and he's like, yeah, they did look good, but we're gonna have to wait to see how they do when we play good opponents, when we play in Oklahoma State on the road, is what he said. And I think you're going to get to see how they do in one of these matchups this week. Obviously, Thursday, you'll talk about that one. But the one on Sunday is casual fans. Don't look at Utah State and see Utah State and be like, not a power conference team. That is a very, very, very good soccer program and a good team, and we're going to travel to their place. And that's another chance for us to kind of maybe, I don't want to say redeem or whatever you want to call it, from our first road game of the season.
Test our weapons.
So that'll be that next chance for them to show that they learned some things. But you got to get through Thursday first, for sure.
That's right.
So, take it away.
Yeah. Excuse me. On August 22nd, Thursday, Texas Tech will play St. Bonaventure at 7 p.m. That match is at home. And then, like Shelby said, Utah State at Logan on August 25th. That's Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Time. But, a great opportunity for us to bounce back with St. Bonaventure or not bounce back, but to continue to grow. What I am looking forward to and what I caught from that presser that Tom was talking about is Ashley Williams, and we interviewed with her. We know what she's capable of, and you saw in that double rebound attempt to get the ball in the back of the net. It's like the floodgates I'm waiting to open for Ashley Williams. So I am really looking forward to an opportunity for her to score in one of these 2 matches. And Tom talks about finding the combination for Ashley and what that looks like, and I think we're continuing to see that change up and getting to see a lot.
She might lead us in shots on goal on the season. Like, she's had some good looks.
She's knocking. She's knocking on the door, and I know it's going to open up. And once it does, I think it's a wrap. So I'm hoping to see that from her. But you're right, no opponent to sleep on. It is a continuous, intense effort, especially in Big 12 soccer, to always stay ready. And so those are the 2 games that we have coming up. St. Bonaventure played Baylor. They lost 5-2. So we should be able to take care of business in a lot of different ways. And also work a lot on what we're wanting to grow with. And then Utah State, like you talked about, very good program. They are currently on a 2-game win streak against Pepperdine and Hawaii. So
Pepperdine's
a lot of different layers.
I believe Pepperdine's picked to win the West Coast Conference, and they didn't just beat them; they beat them 4-0 to start the year. So again, and then Utah State. If you need further reason to see that as a game that we need to, we have a chance to show out in and kind of gain back some maybe national whatever. Like, okay, Texas Tech's bounced back. Utah State beat number 1 BYU at home last year. We're headed to their place, so I'm excited for them. Like, I'm not saying that because I'm scared. Like, I'm like, this is good. This is a chance to, because it's one thing. It's cool. You can beat up on CSUN as you should. It's impressive to do what you're supposed to do. Not all teams can do that. We did what we were supposed to do. Hopefully they do what they're supposed to do on Thursday. And now you have a chance to go and be like, okay, now we're playing a solid program that's been a kind of a nice little mid-major team for years now, and certainly off to a good start this year, and do it on the road in a tough place to play. So I'm excited. Maybe we'll stream it again. I don't know. Someone asked last night if we were streaming the game, and I don't know that we're going to stream home games. Maybe like a big one, but it's kind of counterproductive because we want y'all to be at the game. You know what I mean?
What if they want to listen to us while they're at the game?
Yeah, so maybe for some big games, we'll think about it just for funsies. But a lot of people that watched that, which there was a lot of people that watched it, so that was way more people that watched than I was thinking there would be.
How cute.
But we'll be at the games, so but we'll see. Utah State would be the next road game. We'll talk about it. If y'all want it, let us know. Drop it in the comments. Shoot us a message. But
That's right.
that'll be another fun one for sure. I'm excited. I'm like ready for it, but gotta get through Thursday.
That's right.
Can't
Don't get ahead
overlook
of ourselves.
Shelby. Can't overlook.
Don't you sleep on them, Shelby.
Can't sleep on them.
Yeah, so huge games coming up, but we'll continue to recap and give y'all updates. But yeah, thank you again for y'all's support. Continue to do that. If you're not subscribed, I'm going to yell at you. And if you are, I'm still going to yell at you. But that's what we have for our episode today. Anything else to add before we take on St. Bonaventure and Utah State, the Texas Tech Red Raiders?
Only thing I have to add is be there on Thursday. Great turnout. Texas Tech fans very impressed. Students are not back on campus yet, and y'all showed up and showed out for this team. Season ticket holders, whoever it was.
Huge.
Much love. Tom talks about in his presser out. That's normally not a game that we have that big of a crowd at, and that's a testament to the fan base this group created last year and carried over into this year. So really proud. I was really happy to see that because I was a little nervous too. I was like, there's no students. And
after Penn State, yeah.
You get that same crowd on Thursday night, and the students maybe are in town now. They can line the fence.
A Thursday night, y'all. Come on.
First event, maybe that most students are in town.
The pregame.
Yeah, that's
I
gonna
think
be fun.
that sounds
so
like a good time.
If you're a freshman at Texas Tech, for some reason listening to our show, obviously it's a part of the what do we call it?
Orientation.
Orientation. They show Seeing Scarlet episodes.
Can you
then
imagine?
Get your butt out there to the Walker. That will be a great first Texas Tech sporting event experience for you guys. So
completely cool. All right, well that's what we got. Wreck 'em, y'all.
Wreck 'em.